So my name is Chris Casangina, and how did I become an author? I guess I might have to dredge it as far back as when I worked for an IT services team. Quite often we were required to write technical documentation on how to do processes or how to instruct other departments on how to achieve various different outcomes. So I guess sort of step-by-step technical authoring sort of dives back to that period of time. When I joined Combined Knowledge, we write our own course manuals. So as a trainer, we're quite often involved in creating new courseware. Even in my personal time, although I'm not an author, I do work on the Microsoft step-by-step series for SharePoint as a technical editor. So whether it's in work time or in my free time, I'm always very much ingrained in creating or reviewing content. Okay, so how are our courses different from other courses? I guess we're quite special because we can fully author our content from cover to cover, and we've got creative control over how we lay out that content, and we've got the experience of teaching courses over and over to work out when things would be positioned in a better order, what's too difficult to have at the beginning, should it be moved to the end. So I guess creative control is probably one of the best factors that we have over our content. We're not locked down. We as trainers have a fantastic experience from all of our customers that we've worked with and all of the public courses that we've run to recognise where we can improve stuff, and if we can improve something, we will. And we always listen to the feedback for our courses. Quite often I endeavour to make sure that courseware is perfect for anyone who comes on our training course, and I'll take any feedback and try and evolve that into something that improves our course experience and that manual at the end of the day. So the target audience for our SharePoint Online Power User course is pretty much anyone who has an interest in learning it, because there aren't really any prerequisites. As long as you can use a mouse and a web browser, that's pretty much all you need to know to use SharePoint Online. Now, you could come from any background. You could work in IT support and you're getting a lot of calls about SharePoint Online and you just want to know how to support your user base. Or you could be in charge of a project as a project manager and you think, well, hey, a SharePoint site might help me. Is this course for me? And the answer is yes. If you want to know how to use SharePoint inside and out, this is the perfect course for you. What would you take away for the course? Well, the confidence to recognise all of the rich features that are available to you. At the end of the day, SharePoint is a toolkit, and the more you know about the tools that you have, the better solution that you can build for your teams and your departments. If I had to focus on one main consideration that I had for this course, specifically this course, is basically the fact that SharePoint is in a bit of a flux at the moment. SharePoint evolved as an on-premises solution, and ever since then it's been incrementally improved. In SharePoint Online, Microsoft are almost sort of painting over all of this classic interface with what they call SharePoint Modern. And one thing that I have to take into particular attention is that some businesses are still using this classic interface. Other businesses have adopted this modern interface, and that leaves us in this situation where the course manual has to reflect both classic and modern. We also need to educate people on what classic is, where it came from, why we've got modern, what are the benefits of modern. And we want to make sure that when people leave our course, they understand that and they can recognise what's classic and what's modern. So the most crucial part of our courseware that we took into consideration is to make sure that everything is written for both classic and modern experience. So how often is our course updated? I would say it's always being updated. Based on feedback, based on changes in SharePoint and complementing products in Office 365, we just keep it up to date. So at this point in time, I'm currently updating the manual. The more prudent question is, when is it released? We try and release an update within every 2 to 3 months. So the idea is that we queue up a bunch of updates that talk about more modern features in the product that have come out of the woodwork, fixes for labs that might have changed due to Microsoft releasing an update, and updated graphics, screenshots and steps as well. So we tend to sort of push those out, like I said, every 2 to 3 months, but in the background we're always keeping that manual up to date to make sure it's as accurate to the SharePoint Online product and Office 365 complementary products as possible. Do we take Microsoft Software Assurance Vouchers? Yes we do. In addition to that, I think it's worth pointing out that quite a lot of businesses often have a stockpile of these software assurance vouchers. So you've got potentially quite a lot of training that's owed to you that a lot of businesses don't realise is there. So it's very worthwhile checking to see if you've got a cache of these vouchers that you could potentially use in exchange for this training.